And if you're wondering about the shirt, you might see more of this. This is not Anthony Santander on the shirt here, but we are talking about Tony Taters because I think you guys need to understand and realize how great he is and how valuable he is to the Baltimore Orioles. And even though despite all the talent that is in the outfield, Tony Taters is going to be on this team, and Tony Taters could be a massive reason why the Baltimore Orioles offense continues to go further. First off, to give you guys some context, you guys might know that Tony's hit a lot of home runs over the last 2 years, 61 to be exact. You might also know that Tony led the team in extra base hits. He had 41 doubles, 1 triple, and 28 jacks, which was tied for the team lead. He also led the Baltimore Orioles in RBIs with 95. What Tony Taters brings to the table is the ability to drive the baseball from both sides of the plate, and I expect to see a lot more of this production again from Anthony Santander. You'll understand more when I talk about this. This is going to be some positives, but I will explain when you probably look at it, wait a minute, Ryan, why does Tony seem to struggle at times? I will break that down later on. It all is going to come together. But first off, Shane Bieber, he's going to get a changeup away here, and this ball's way out of the zone, but you're going to see Tony stay on it and just drive this ball to right center. Here we go. And first off, that's off the plate. Actually, runner was going, and Tony Taters smacks it. Maybe it was a hit and run. Maybe it wasn't, but I'll tell you what it was. It's a double in the gap. That's called shopping at the gap, everyone. Tony Taters did that a lot last year. He did it 41 times. Here's another example. Dylan Cease, the almost Oriole. I don't know if you guys heard about that whole fiasco or the rumors. Dylan Cease is out in San Diego, and even though he wasn't at his best last year, he's still one of the best pitchers in the game. Tremendous talent. He's going to try to bust a fastball inside here on Tony, 97 off the plate. And what do you think Tony does? He gets his hands inside. Tony does this just as well as anybody. Gets his hands inside the baseball and hits a rope down the first base line right here. Ready? There it is. And that's all right on the black. Great swing by Tony. And yes, he's not maybe built for speed, but he can leg one out. He legs it out for a double there. He's feeling good. All right. Again, you're seeing some good pitchers. The theme, Tony rakes, and he rakes some of the best in the game. Kevin Gausman, AL Cy Young finalist last year, former Oriole. Would have loved if he did this in Baltimore, by the way. Kind of sad that he's not. Glad to see he's having success in Toronto, but not on this pitch. 1-2 count. You're going to see a slider down in kind of middle, trying to go middle in. But guess what? That's not a bad pitch you're going to see from Gausman, but Tony just goes down and golfs it out of the ballpark. Ready? So look where that is. If I'm a pitcher, if I'm Gausman right there, I am pissed. I am ticked off because that's one right there. The catcher's going down to one leg, ready to block it. That's a 1-2, try to force the hitter to swing at a bad pitch or how do I want to put it? It's a throwaway pitch in the sense. It's trying to make him chase. There's the word. He chases, but guess what? Tony chases and smacks his ball right out of the yard. And that's a bomb. That ball is crushed. And Tony did that so many times, time and time again, for the Baltimore Orioles last season. Okay, here's another example. Luis Castillo. Mariners sneaky have one of the best starting rotations in baseball. Luis Castillo, 0-0 count, starting it off. He's going to hang a slider right in the middle of the plate, and you can take a pretty good guess what Tony does. He drives that ball out to right center, deep center. That's just who he is. And when he gets going, he's doing it against some of the best in the game. And that's something when I talk about, give respect to some of the players that you might, you're thinking, well, wait a minute, is it time to move on for him? It's hard to replicate what he does. And what he does is bring extreme power to a Baltimore offense with some talented players. Here's another example just showing from the right side that he can do it on both sides of the plate. He's going to get a pitch away, and he's not afraid to shoot it the other way, off the wall, in for a double again, death taxes, and Tony's got an extra base hit. Those are things that you can count on. This is really impressive for me. Again, we saw him being able to pull his hands in as a left-handed hitter. Well, guess what? He's going to get a fastball well inside. He's going to pull his hands in and smoke a line drive down the line. And if you guys saw, if I could freeze that back, because I want people to really see that. Look where that pitch is. I mean, that's way inside. And when you're understanding with that velocity coming in, you really have to find a way. I'll come over here so you guys can see. Imagine, you know it's coming in fast. And I tell people all the time, and I wish I did this better. was when a pitch is coming inside, you just have to trust your hands to be able to go get the baseball. If you try to incorporate too much of your body, you can sometimes block or make your bat slow. Tony's able to just get his hands right to it, and then because he's able to get his hands to the ball so well, it's going to come off like a rocket because of the force of the ball coming in right now. So there it is, smoke down the line, get everyone in motion. And Jordan Westberg, really good athlete. He's going to score on this play. Electric. Don't sleep on Westy. If you guys want to check out that breakdown, go look at the other videos on YouTube. All right, here we go. This is kind of where I want to explain a little bit about Tony Taters when we talked about, well, wait a minute, Ryan, he got it so streaky. You're kind of right. He had some months right here where you went, man, 337. Holy shirts and pants. I had 7 jacks, 22 ribbies. The month before, April and March, not too great, 213. The rest of the months, kind of okay, nothing crazy. What was always consistent with Tony? Strikeouts. He struck out a lot. He struck out 152 times in 153 games. So he's averaging 1 strikeout per game. But everything is pretty routine. So he's not, quote unquote, slumping a ton. But when he gets himself out is because if you look at this bottom graph here, and you're going to look at all these numbers, the biggest ones you're going to see is out of zone swing percentage, first pitch swing percentage, and first pitch strike percentage. So I'm going to move back here so I can get out of the way. But if you look at these numbers, you're going to see all the way over here. Come on, Ryan. Get on out the way. You're going to look at these numbers right here. 34.4% on out of zone swing percentage, first pitch swing percentage, but then first pitch strike swing percentage. So he wants to swing the bat quite a bit, okay? And especially those percentages are a little bit higher for out of the zone. That's the specific. In the zone, it makes sense, right? 62% it's in the zone. But when Tony wants to extend, you saw, and I've explained this in other videos, it's a strength of his, but it can also be a weakness when he gets in trouble. So we'll roll it a little bit. We'll show you some examples of what I'm talking about. And this is in favorable counts, okay, in this situation. 2-1 count. You want to try to find something good to drive. He's going to go chasing on a pitch outside here on a changeup. And if you look at this, pitches outside, and that's not a pitch you want to go with 2-1. And by the way, I'm saying this as a guy that did that all the time. So it's not a knock to him. It's just explaining what's actually happening in the situation. You don't want to swing at that 2-1 count. You're going to pop it right up. You lose a good opportunity. It's hard, especially against Berrios. It's one of the more successful pitchers, and the Toronto staff has a really good team ERA. Now, this pitch is disgusting. I'm going to give Tony the benefit of the doubt here, but this one's going to keep running in, probably one of the best cutters. And, hey, P.S., if you guys are wondering how good a cutter is, watch this thing. Goodness, that's why Corbin Burns is so damn good. Revisit that one, but you're seeing he's chasing a pitch that's running inside the plate, chases out of the zone, strikes out. Again, we'll give him the benefit on that one. That's just a part of it. Moving forward again, first pitch swinging, and you're going to see he's going to chase a pitch that, yes, he can drive, but it's still not the easiest pitch to hit. That's still low, and he's going after it. First pitch, it's not like with 2 strikes. And he puts a very good swing on it because Anthony Santander is a very good hitter. But he flies out, and that's that. Case 1-2 count. You're going to see a pitch. It's going to be low. In the dirt, chases. We've all been there. That happens. But I'm just trying to give you guys context. 1-0 count again. Up in the count, hitter's count. When you're in the hitter's count, if people don't understand what I mean by that, you want to be aggressive on your pitch. You don't want to go chasing or extending the strike zone. Make them come to you. Right here, Santander is going to be a little bit too aggressive, and he's going to chase a pitch way inside. You see right there? And he's thinking, that could be a good pitch. Way inside, and he's going to pop that up. So I think when we watch Tony Taters getting these moments, okay, he sometimes wants to just be so aggressive and try to put the bat on the ball, which he does a great job. It's not that he's swinging and missing a ton. And obviously, when he's striking out, he's expanding the zone. That's one thing. But on these pitches, he swings at them because he can drive them, okay? So I think Oriole fans need to live with that and realize, though, it's hard to hit a lot of home runs. But one thing, and we mentioned earlier in the show about Ryan O'Hearn, you want to talk about clutch factor? Who was clutch last year? It was this guy, Tony Taters. It felt like big moment, big pitcher. You saw it earlier in the videos. This dude loves that moment. And if you were in Birdland or you're watching the game of this night, Yankees, Orioles, 0-0 game, this one erupted Birdland. 2-0 count, and this is why you need a guy like Tony Taters in your lineup. Change up, down. Well, guess what? Tony calls game. And yes, it's low, but that ball is deep into the night at Camden Yards. And that was a moment, and I can remember this, is that Birdland believed we are the team to beat in the American League East. This is our division, and we're going to make sure that we hold on to it. A big reason why they had that feeling is that guy right there, number 25, Anthony Santander. So before we start to look at the future, a lot of talented players. Who knows how this plays out for him moving forward? But how it plays out right now, this guy has been the most effective, productive offensive player on the Baltimore Orioles the last 2 seasons. He drives the ball for extra base hits. He drives in the most runs. And when you need him, he can make the big play with his bat. I can't wait to see what Santander has in store. And you know what I love about him? He's calm and cool. You talk to Tony Taters, he's such a chill and relaxed guy. I think we're going to see another great year from number 25 in 2024. And hopefully, it's going to lead the Baltimore Orioles right back to the playoffs.